Good morning, students. Let's continue with the language part. We have already completed prepositions, conjunctions, and now we are on clauses. Now, this is an easy part. I'm sure you must have done it in your previous classes as well. Now, clauses, what are clauses? You must have heard this word quite a number of times, and of course, I know it is little difficult sometimes to remember certain parts of grammar. But this is very important, clauses. You should know it not only for your class 8 but also for your senior classes, right? So understand clauses. What are clauses? It's a group of words which has your subject and a finite verb, right? It has got both the things, the subject about which you're talking and the finite verb, right? The action words. Now what happens here? They are the part of a larger sentence. Means of course you have you know a sentence and you do have a clause in it, but these clauses, they are not the complete sentences, they're the part of the sentence. Now these clauses, they are of two types, that is the principal clause or the main clause, then we have subordinate clause or the dependent clause, right? So it is easy to remember that principal clause has got a subordinate clause and the main clause has a dependent clause. You can remember it the way you want, right? So let's continue. Let's start with the chapter. It is there in your second term syllabus. Open to page number 158. Okay, I'll be reading it for you, but please, I do want you to have your books with you. Rather than lying around watching the videos, the best is open your books and just go through it with me. Clauses. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and a finite verb. I've already done it here, a group of words with a subject and your finite verb here. As. Now they have given an example here. This is the house which was built by my father. Now it's a complete sentence. But if you remove this is the house and then you have another part of the sentence which was built by my father is the part of a larger sentence and is not complete by itself. It is therefore a clause. That means half part of the sentence that is not complete, right? That is your clause. But it should have a subject and a verb. Types of clauses. Clauses are of two types, principal or the main clause, or independent clause also we can say that, subordinate or the dependent clause. A clause which is independent in its own meaning is called principal or main clause. When the part of the sentence that is independent, it doesn't really need the support of another part of the sentence, that is known as the principal clause or the main clause. A clause which cannot stand by itself is called subordinate or dependent clause. But that part of the sentence that cannot stand on its own and need the support of the main clause is known as the dependent clause. Let's continue. Subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses are of three kinds. Now we have subordinate clauses. Let's see. Noun clause, adjective clause, adverb clause. Now it is easy to remember. Understand, noun clause, you can hear the word noun. It means it acts as a noun. Adjective clause, a clause that acts as an adjective. Adverb clause, a clause that acts as an adverb. So remember, you'll get the hint in the word, in the name itself. So we will do one thing, we'll take one clause at a time. We'll start with the noun clause. A noun clause does the function of a noun. Therefore, it can be. So a noun clause means it is working as a noun. Number one, so it can be the subject or a verb. Subject of a verb, For example, What cannot be cured must be endured. Whether tomorrow will be a holiday is not certain. Why the mistress resigned is a mystery. Where he lives is not known to me. What he does may not be fruitful. Now understand, whatever is there in the bold letters is your noun clause. Come to the second one. Object of a transitive verb. As, no one knows who wrote this song. Father asked him why he was late. Tell me, why did you return the money? Find out if the test is ready. So again, the bold words, the letters in the bold are your noun clauses. See the third one, object of a preposition. Do not believe in what he says, except that he stammers. Raghav is a fine man. Your success depends on how you work. She will object to what her sister says. Clear? Again, the letters in the bold are your noun clauses. Object to participle. Fearing that he will be punished, he ran away. Learning that my friend has failed, I try to console him. Hoping that good sense will prevail, I try to impress upon both the parties. Now, object to an infinitive, as she was sad to note that her sister was in hospital. Right? So that's the noun clause again. They came to inquire if I was well. So if I was well is your noun clause. She wants to know how he will get success. Again, that's your noun clause. Come to the sixth part, complement to a verb. When you are, it's a kind of a complement to a verb. It is sure that he will get this job. Her ambition was that she should become a doctor. In opposition to a noun or a pronoun if, as, it is a miracle that he is well. Perhaps remember the saying that pride hath a fall. So all these sentences, they have a subordinate clause. So that means the ones which are not in the bold letters are your principal clauses, and the ones which are in the bold are the subordinate clauses, plus they are your noun clauses. Okay, now we have two exercises given after this. Exercise number A. Complete each of these sentences by adding a suitable noun clause beginning with the word given in the brackets. So we need to discuss these sentences, right? I can help you with it. Just make sure that you have your pencils with you. Please keep your pencils with you and write the answers there itself. See the first sentence. She has no faith in what others say. You can write the answers, I'm sure. What is already there? Others say. Where dash is a mystery. Where he hides his money. You can write anything. If you know or if you can complete your sentences, you can. This is how you can win match. This is how you can win the match. So you'll be completing all these sentences in the same manner. I have done 3 for you. I want you to complete the rest. Later on, I'll post my answers as well so that you can recheck whether you have done it in the right manner. See the exercise number 2. Replace the words in italics with suitable noun clauses. Okay, let's see. Everybody knows him to be polite. Everybody knows that he is polite. Knows him, we'll cut it, everybody knows that he is polite. The hiding place was not known to the police. Okay, the place where he was hiding was not known to the police. You can always write that down. Number 3, I've heard of your selection. I have heard that you have been selected. Right? I'm sure you can mark that. I'll do one thing. I'll be posting the answers so you can recheck it. Just try it once. Try it on your own, then I'll help you with it. Right? So let's move to another clause, another subordinate clause, adjective clauses. So let's do it. An adjective clause, please understand, does the function of an adjective. So this one acts as an adjective. The other one acts or does the function of a noun. So we know it, right? So let's do it. It is introduced by a relative pronoun or by a relative adverb. So understand, you have to keep a watch that whether it is introduced by a relative pronoun. Relative pronouns, you understand? Let's see. Relative pronouns are who, whom, whose, that, which, and what. These are your relative pronouns. God helps those who help themselves. Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. The reason why he left the job is not known. The girl who stood first is my friend. Now, relative adverbs are when, where, why, and how. We're talking about somewhat the time and place. This is the colony where my friend lives. I know the time when the match starts. The road where the accident took place is near Hyderabad. So we know everything that is in the bold is your clause. It depends upon the type of clauses it is. Adjective clause. Why? Because it acts like an adjective, and we can always start the adjective clause with the help of a relative pronoun or relative adverb. See the third one, the relative pronoun or the relative adverb may be omitted. It can be removed when it is in the objective case. Right? For example, the idea you suggested is not practicable. The time this book was written is still unknown. This is the boy I met last week. So you can remove it if it is an objective case, right? Just give me a minute. Okay, so let's continue. I'll do one thing. These exercises, I'll help you with the answers. I'll discuss them later on. Just do one thing. If you know how to do it, just at least try. Right? I'll be posting the answers for you so you can recheck them. Now let's move to the third clause, that is your adverb clauses. Now, like always, the clauses that functions with that works as the adverb is known as an adverb clause. Then, therefore, now it is important. See, it may therefore modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. It acts as an adverb. And an adverb, it can always modify what? A noun, a verb, adjective, and another adverb. We have 3 here. Now, according to this part, adverb clauses, we have 9 kinds of adverb clauses. Is that clear? We have 9 kinds of adverb clauses. Let's see the first one, adverb clause of time, where we'll be talking about time with the words like before, till, until, these kind of words, right? That shows or that only talks about time. See, adverb clause of place, for example, where or whence, whither, wherever. So all these words, the clause that talks about the place, right? Adverb clause of manner, how it is done. Is that clear? maybe sadly, maybe hurriedly, whatever it is. So all these clauses that shows the manner of an action comes in the adverb clause of manner. Adverb clause of purpose. So there's a reason, right, why it is done. Then we have adverb clause of cause. What are the causes of it? For example, because, as, since, cause. And then we have adverb clause of condition. Condition is conditional sentences, if, unless, whether. You remember conditional clauses? Adverb clause of result. What is the outcome? What is the result of it? And then we have adverb clause of comparison, when we compare, right? And then we have adverb clauses of supposition or concession, right? That's the last one that we'll be doing it later on, where we use conjunctions as well, right? So we have these 9 types of clauses in the adverb clause. I will start this part of the chapter in my next video. We'll do till here in this video. Now let's do one thing. I'll discuss 1 or 2 answers of exercise number C, so that you know how you can actually do it, right? See, number 1. Okay, I'll read the question. Pick out the adjective clauses in the following sentences and say which noun or pronoun each qualifies. Is that clear? So, he who wins the race shall get the prize. So, who will take the clause here? Who wins the prize? Who wins the race is your clause, and it is actually what? Which noun and pronoun is used here? He. You can circle he and underline who wins the race. Number 2, right? I remember the hospital where I was born. So where I was born, underline it. And what is it actually referring to? The hospital. Circle it. Now you will see a pattern. Noun or a pronoun comes before the clause. Number 3. A confluence is a place where streams meet, right? So where streams meet, underline it. A place, circle it. I'm sure you are doing it in the same manner. Come to the 4th one. He who increases his riches increases his cares. So who increases his riches, underline it, and he, circle it. Right? I'm sure you can see that. Right, let's continue. Number 5. Okay, those who live in glass houses should not throw stones at others. Who live in glass houses, underline it. And those, circle it. Number 6. They never fail who die for a noble cause. Who, underline it, who die for a noble cause, and they, circle it. Number 7. He that is down need fear no fall. So that is down is underlined and he is circled. Number 8. The moment which is lost forever. Which is lost, underline it please, which is lost, and circle the moment. Number 9. Those were the days when everybody lived in peace. So when everybody lived in peace, underline what? The days, circle it. Number 10. The reason why I selected you is obvious. Why I selected, and the reason, circle it. So this is how it should actually look, right? So if we've done one exercise, the next one I'll do one thing. Let's discuss 1 or 2 sentences. The rest I want you to try at least. Combine each pair of sentences below so as to make one sentence, changing the italicized sentences into an adjective clause and making other necessary changes if changes required. Number 1, the train goes to Mangalore. The train comes at 9 p.m. The train that goes to Mangalore. The train that goes to Mangalore, cut the second, the train comes at 9 p.m. Right. I'll be doing it in a proper way, and I'll send you the answers so that you know what you have to do. Right. Just go through this part of your chapter, read it nicely, and the next part I'll post it in my next video. Just go through it. Okay. Thank you.